Tiger Beat magazine, one of the largest teen heartthrob publications in the world. Every month took young fans where they wanted to be, right next to their favorite musician or actor. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, Tiger Beat was the source for teens, both girls and boys, to read about their favorite musicians and actors.
Oh, what's the truth? Go look at that.
Well, let's find out what it is.
Is this the one with his shirt off on the cover?
Yeah, he's standing there bearing his chest.
Oh,
there he is, bearing his chest on the cover, and he's in the middle of a heart, and it says, "The truth's inside." So let's see if he is really that romantic on a date.
Welcome to the Shaun Squad Society podcast with your hosts, myself, Cindy,
Doris,
Dame Madonna,
where we invite you to share in our enthusiasm and reminisce about all things Shaun Cassidy.
From his teen idol days to his recent adventures back on the road again.
Please join us for the stories and memories that connected us to those happy days that helped create the Shaun Squad Society podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Shaun Squad Society podcast. And today we are going to have an episode about something dear to our hearts when we were teenagers. These magazines were really important to us to find out any updates on our special teen idol back in the day.
These magazines? Like
These
Tiger
magazines,
Beat?
Yes. We're going to talk about Tiger Beat today.
Oh, boy. I love Tiger Beat.
Tiger Beat was so fun. We just couldn't wait to come out.
That next edition, every month I would be there. And the great thing about Tiger Beat, they had like Tiger Beat Star, Tiger Beat Super Special, Tiger Beat Extra Special. They had all sorts of different
they branched out everywhere.
So you were never lacking on your Tiger Beat fix.
Oh, I couldn't wait. I had my babysitting money, and I would run to the store when I knew when it was coming out. It was 75 cents.
Yeah. It was about 75 cents per edition.
Yeah, per edition.
Well, even in Oprah's words, she said that Shaun Cassidy, he was on the cover so much for almost 2 years straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
No surprise.
He never left the cover of Tiger Beat for about 2 years straight. He was the main attraction.
Tiger Beat May of 1977, he got the full cover. Shaun Cassidy, he will steal your heart.
Well, it took him long enough. He was out in January. Where were they all of February and March? But no, I'm kidding.
I don't know. He may have had minor appearances in it, but this is his full cover.
He got the full cover, that beautiful smile and that hair.
That feathered hair.
Yep.
It's like Shaun says even now. He said, yep, cute kid.
So what are we going to do, Cindy? Are we going to pretend like we're 15 and read our Tiger Beat?
Let's look through our magazines and see what we can find.
I'm so excited.
I haven't looked at this in, 40 years?
I'm going to be honest with you. I dug them out just this morning.
And well, how many do you have there?
I brought 8.
8, okay.
Oh.
I have more at home. I brought 2 with me today, but I do have the other ones at home. And Dame,
I brought 5.
You have 5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't looked at
right here.
I haven't looked at any of these.
Yeah, this is going to be a surprise for us.
Since I put them away that day.
Right. So we're going to look at our magazine and see what we can find out about Shaun back in mine's 1977. I know he went.
Yeah, mine's 1977 in August. My favorite one.
Yes. So when you open it up, of course, it's got color pages. It's got black and white pages. Back then, it was kind of a combo magazine. And besides him being on the cover, the first article I could see is Shaun and Parker's real life adventures. So they started writing about the Hardy Boys and all their escapades.
Which one are you in? You said yours is 1977. You said the month. Was it?
May. His first.
May. Okay. I have that one here.
His first edition on the cover.
Yes. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah. So they're talking about their escapades on the Hardy Boys. It's just a little article about that. So I don't want to read the whole thing right now, but
I like the part where it says real life adventures, and it talks about how even on the set, it wasn't always perfect.
Right.
And so it goes into some of those little stories right here in this magazine on the page. I think it's page 6.
Yeah, it is
Since
page
you have the
6.
same as,
Yes.
yes, it's so cute to see Shaun there. And then our friend is, Hardy Boys. So it's fun to see both of them and to see their real life adventures.
Yeah, in the beginning it says, if you watch the super new series, The Hardy Boys, on ABC TV, then you'll see all the exciting and sometimes scary situations Shaun and Parker get into as Frank and Joe Hardy. But the excitement doesn't always stop when the cameras do. So it was a whole article about their adventures on the set of The Hardy Boys.
Yes, I read those.
They talk all about the day that they were there on the set, all the adventures, and they said that, did they say that Shaun and Parker had adventures along with Frank and Joe?
Well, they talk about Shaun and Parker, but yeah, I've got to be about their characters, Frank and Joe Hardy.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
On here, it's saying Shaun, and then it says that there was one time where he literally falls into the water.
Oh, goodness.
And it was icy. It's icy. And then nobody was ready to shoot the cameras yet.
Oh, my goodness.
So he fell into the ice cold water.
Well, he slipped by mistake.
Right.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And they weren't ready to roll, and there he was.
Yeah, so he was all wet like a wet cat, and so he had to get dried off and before they could shoot action again.
Yeah.
But then if it talks about which show it was on too. So now we have something to read about that's behind the show.
They give us behind the scenes info.
I have one from August of 78.
Oh.
And it's got Shaun on the cover with a big old heart in the middle of the page. And it says, Shaun, is a date with him really that romantic?
Oh.
The truth's inside.
Oh, what's the truth? Go look at that.
Well, let's find out what it is.
Is this the one with his shirt off on the cover?
Yeah, he's standing there bearing his chest.
Oh.
There he is, bearing his chest on the cover. And he's in the middle of a heart. And it says, the truth's inside. So let's see if he is really that romantic on a date. The date with Shaun, how romantic would it be? Page 81.
Oh, I got to find out. So when I go on a date with them, I know what to do.
Well, you might have to ask Tracy if that'll be okay. But yeah, here we are. Would a date with Shaun really be romantic? You know things aren't always as great as you imagine they'll be, but about a date with Shaun, would it really be as romantic as you think? Well,
I think so.
Let's just say it's August 1978, and I'm sitting there imagining my date with Shaun. I'm pretty sure it's going to be as romantic as I
think he's a romantic. I think he is.
He is a romantic. I'm a romantic.
But back then when we were teenagers, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
When this came out, we didn't know that part yet. So that was in the future.
But
he was.
But here it is. I'm going to skim through this. It says, Shaun may not say and do exactly what you imagine he would, or he may do what you expect, but not when you expect it. You thought he would take your hand as soon as the movie began. Instead, he might put his arm around you and hold your hand as you are leaving the show. So he's going to do little things, maybe not when we thought he would.
Yeah. That's nice.
Do you think flowers are romantic? Shaun's on the right track if you do. He'll probably arrive at your doorstep right on time. Of course, with a beautiful bouquet of red roses. Of course, Shaun will help you on with your coat, open the car door for you, and take your arm when you're crossing the street.
Oh, nice.
You can see that in him.
Yeah.
You can see that in his eyes. You can see the sweetness in his face. And that goes along with the way he would treat a date.
Oh, how nice.
So it says that Shaun will be romantic on a date.
And that's good to know. Dame, did you find any articles in yours?
Well, in mine, I found a lot. And I like the part where it talks about, mine is the August of 77. The Hollywood episode that somebody could win that trip. Did you guys ever see who won that so that they could go with the Hardy Boys?
No, did not.
Yeah, that's what it talked about. And I was just like, oh, I wonder who they were. If maybe their pictures were featured somewhere else.
I just don't know if I ever entered those or not. I'm not sure if I did.
I never would enter them because
No.
I always thought I'm never going to
Yeah.
win this. That's not going
I
to
would've.
happen.
I don't know if I did either. There's too many girls up on that
Well, on
one.
the front cover of mine, it has two of our favorites. You know, we got to talk to Parker Stevenson, and I have a deep love for him too, and that actor that he was, and the photographer that he is now. But looking at the front of my magazine and seeing both of them on this one,
Yeah.
it meant a lot to me. I
Yeah.
really, of course, like the part where I would have freaked out if I had won a prize to go to Hollywood and film with, the Hardy Boys.
I do
All
believe
that
there was
had
a
to be
winner.
done. Yeah, I wonder what happened.
There
And
probably
all you
was, and
had
I
to
don't
do-
remember.
All you had to do to enter this was to smile and send a photo.
Well,
We would.
If that person is listening to us, please let us know. We'd love to talk to you about
Yes.
that contest and
About
what you
winning
did.
That
Yeah.
contest. We've already talked to Dawn about winning her monkey. So we
yes.
could talk to the person who won the trip to Hollywood.
Yeah, anybody that's won contests in the magazine, let us know. We would love that
would be
story.
cool. Well, on page 22, there's a column where Shaun's best friend goes with him to like London, I guess.
Oh,
And it mentioned that when they went on this tour, that their limo broke down. Can you just imagine? And it was in New Amsterdam, ironically.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, but it was also a story which was taking place in a very scary part of town, and that's where they had broken down. And so they didn't forget that. But in Germany, Shaun was there to perform, the award show,
Yeah.
and he was getting an award, I guess, from Bravo magazine for being the best.
That's where he
single.
started, I think.
Yes.
Wasn't that
but
where
then
his
at
first
that
album
time-
went?
Yes, he started out in Europe. His first release
Germany.
was in Europe.
And I
in
believe
Germany.
that cover of his first album was, that photo was taken there too, Germany.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they said that they were giving him the award for being the best single male singer.
Oh, great. Wow.
Mhm. But the part that he didn't like about that trip, and it's in this magazine, was when he had to see that wall between Germany, the West and
Yeah.
Germany.
Oh, okay.
The Berlin Wall? Is that what
Yes.
it's called?
Yes. And he saw the wires, and it just really made him sad to see, how one side was different in the way they were controlled. So that was a sad part in there. So that really got to him. So it shows how sensitive Shaun can be too for others.
Yeah. That was a nice one.
That's a very good article. And that was in which edition or which magazine?
August of 77 is the Tiger Beat.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Well, I have one from August of 78.
Oh, a year later.
Yeah. Tiger Beat Star.
Oh, yeah, that was an extension.
Yeah.
Oh, I have that one too. But I don't know if I have the same one you have. Mine's Tiger Beat Star, and it's May 78.
Well, from the August of 78 edition, it says, Shaun, can you really ever get close to him? Now, first they asked me, will he be romantic on a date? Now they want to ask me, can I get close to him? I like to answer all of their questions with one answer. Yes.
Yes.
Anything you ask me, Mr. Tiger Beat, the answer will always be yes.
Yes.
But let's see
I think they're leading us on. That's
well,
what they're
let's see
doing.
what they actually told us in Tiger Beat.
Okay.
Could you really get close to Shaun? Here's the truth.
Oh, what's the truth?
No, it's the truth.
I got to know.
Okay. No celebrity is completely on his own, even though many of them would like to think so. There almost always seems to be someone, a manager, an agent, a bodyguard, somebody keeping watch. So we know that.
Yeah.
So I'm waiting for them to tell me how to get close to him. When Shaun's at home, no one is there to, quote, guard him, unquote, except his dog, Son.
Yeah.
What do we got to do? Bring some treats? Where's the part where I get close to him? Naturally, you can understand that it's necessary for Shaun, in order to get enough rest and keep his mind on his work, he has to take care of himself. That means having people around to protect him. Okay, we got it. So where's the part where I get close to him? If you want to plan way ahead of time, and you could try to get backstage legitimately, Cindy.
Okay. I did it
as a
illegally.
reporter for a local paper, an usher or photographer, think ahead and contact the people who could help you meet Shaun. So the fewer people around Shaun, the better. That means the best places are Shaun's hotel, local hangouts in his town or another one, and do a bit of detective work. So they're saying, don't go with the masses. Hang out where he is and get the job at the venue, and you could get close to Shaun.
Yes, that's what I did at the one concert. Well, I didn't get the backstage pass. My friend's sister did. She drove us there, and we were just wandering around before the show, and she apparently went to the other side of the stage where we were not at. We were at the wrong side, and she got these backstage passes by telling the radio staff that she was a winner when she wasn't. So lucky me, I got a backstage pass and got to see Shaun. I couldn't really talk to him much, but it was too many people. So, yeah, so a signature, autograph, and then you're out of line.
Well, I'm pretty sure she read this article. In
Yeah.
Tiger Beat, right here, the truth, they wouldn't lie. So she read it and
Maybe she
bingo.
didn't tell us. So she had this secret way of getting something, and she did it.
She had the scoop.
She had the scoop, exactly.
And it worked.
I must have not read that one.
Well,
Yeah. Well, girls, in mine, the one we were just talking about a little bit ago, there's a part on Parker Stevenson. It's on page 45. And we had asked him before, like when he was even 14 years old, he would take pictures and hang out, and he loved being in New York. These magazines is that when we read them, we get to learn so much more about our favorites. And so we can't let go of these magazines.
And I do believe when these teen idols went to the magazine, from what we read, they fill out a questionnaire. So they answer these questions, and that's how they put all these together. That's how they get the background on all these guys. Or the magazine would go to where they're filming at. When they were on breaks, they would have interviews and pictures, and they would fill out forms. So all this information they have in here should have been the truth. You know, this was not made up like
Right.
National Enquirer was.
exactly. They had
This
to
was
fill
real.
out- it's like a bio.
That's why we
a
enjoyed 'em.
little
Yeah.
bio page.
It's real
Yeah.
information on these guys.
August 77, page 66, it says the truth from Shaun and Parker. So all of these questions are there, and then they answer them. But you girls, or all of us, could have been the ones to send these in. It says every month right here in
Yep, every
Tiger
month.
Beat column. Yeah, Shaun and Parker will answer your questions.
Yes, they
If
did.
you want to know something about them, all you had to do is write to this address.
That was a regular.
That was a regular monthly feature. The-
And that's awesome.
They had their own column.
yes.
It still needs to go back. Yeah, on this page, there's also that picture of Shaun when he was little with the bat, so we know he
Oh,
loved
his baseball picture.
It's adorable.
Very cute.
It's when he was, yes. I know I was in Little League, and so I think that's pretty cute that even there he has the sweetest little smile.
Yeah, and this magazine that I have, the May 1977, this was like the first official one he was in. It says Shaun is #1 in Australia. And the first
Right.
thing it says is, so far, Shaun Cassidy hasn't had a record releasing in the United States, though he should have had one out very soon. But for the last couple of years, he's had lots of hit records all over Europe, in Japan, and his current hit, That's Rock and Roll, has made him #1 in Australia. So he wasn't ours first. He was abroad, going abroad, being a star first, and then we got him.
Well, yeah, and we talked about this in the earlier episodes, how a lot of stars start off in Europe because they're a little more accepting. You can make it big in Europe before America accepts you.
Yeah,
So even the Beatles, they didn't just make it big here.
True.
They all hit Europe, and then they come over. So
come over.
Shaun was pretty hot over there in Europe when he got the Hardy Boys, and his record came out, and he was Shaun.
yeah. And do you know his first record in England was Morning Girl?
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't even know that.
All right.
Morning Girl, which was, I mean,
You like
I
that
liked it. It wasn't my favorite, but I mean, I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't skip over it, but it wasn't my favorite.
But it sounded like they changed his voice too. Did you notice that in that song?
Well, they used to always talk.
Yeah, they did that with David too. They made it sound younger.
They did that with a lot of teen idols because they wanted them to sound the age group.
Lower, so it's like
yeah.
higher pitched and faster.
Yeah, they gave him that little boy sound.
I think they did that for that first album.
They certainly did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, from these magazines, we learned so much about, these stars.
So I have an October 1978 magazine.
Oh, yeah? What's that one say?
Okay, so now we know how to get close to Shaun, and we know that he's romantic on a date.
Okay.
Are you ready
Yes.
for the next step?
Yeah, what's next?
We're ready.
Shaun has changed.
Already?
Oh, no.
The new Shaun.
Oh, no,
He
there's
has
a new
changed.
Shaun.
Where
No,
he
don't
goes,
change.
what he does, and who he sees. Now, they just told me how to get close to him and what to expect on the date. Now I got to go and revamp all of my
Oh,
way
my
of thinking.
goodness. Well, you better do it because if you don't, then it's just not going to work.
Okay, well, here it is. The new Shaun, where he goes, what he does, and who he sees. Sometimes a person changes very slowly, and that's what happened to Shaun.
Oh.
You might think he's same Shaun you've known all along, but he's different. Find out how. Where he goes.
Yeah, how?
Shaun's hangouts have gradually changed in the last few years. He used to love lots of people and noisy fun, a party and all of that, but there was a stage with the band playing. Shaun would be on stage by the end of the evening, jamming with the band.
Yeah.
But now, dark restaurant, private discos, small jazz or rock clubs, movies in middle of the day or night.
I could see that.
Relaxing. And that's why he was, the writer.
Well, can you imagine how much noise you're subjected to when you're a teen idol, too?
Yeah.
All that screaming
All
and
that.
noise everywhere.
Well, you want to know who he sees in the fall of 1978?
Who?
Okay. Shaun gets more and more involved with show business. A lot of his friendships have changed. Friends he knew in high school have moved away and taken jobs that are different directions than Shaun's. They've grown apart a little. Okay. So they talk about all that. So he feels closer to his fans as time goes by. He respects their opinions, and he's glad to talk to them as much as time permits. Who's Shaun seeing? Many different girls, one or two old buddies, you in big letters, you, more and more. So he's seeing us more and more, as he travels. He's also seeing fellow actors, fewer people than before, especially outside of show business.
Nice.
So it says what he does when he's not working. I'm just going to skip to the chase here.
Yeah, what is it?
Swimming,
Okay.
visiting family, lots of business meeting, writing songs, trying to get in as much fun in as little time as possible. So,
I can see that.
yep,
I can see that.
fall of 1978.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot has changed.
Hey, wait a second. I just got to the centerfold.
Oh, we got to talk about the centerfolds.
Well, isn't that the first thing you looked at when you opened up the magazine?
No, I'm going to be honest
No?
with you. I'm crazy. I wanted the scoop. I wanted to know stuff. I wanted to figure out where he was going, what he was doing, and how I could be there.
No, I wanted the centerfold. That's the first thing I looked at.
Okay.
And this one says, "Loving kisses, yours always, Shaun Cassidy." And he's got like a Hawaiian shirt on, and he's laying on a cushion, kind of sideways a little bit, looking at you in those dreamy eyes.
Oh, I remember that one.
And it was on my wall.
Oh, there wasn't many that weren't on my
My walls
wall.
were full. I had 4 walls, and I think I was going to the ceiling. That's how bad it was.
Well, I told
It
you
was
I used to have my Shaun wall, then I had the miscellaneous other.
Miscellaneous wall.
Yeah.
So
No, I had a huge poster of Shaun.
on my centerfold here in November 78, it says, "Write me, love Shaun." And he's got on like kind of a Hawaiian print shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I
Or is
think
it Oriental?
Yes, that's
Asian,
one
maybe. Yeah.
White-
Yeah, that's Asian. I'm
white and
sorry.
red?
Yeah, that's an Asian print shirt. And he's sitting on a wooden stool. And he's asking me to write him.
Oh, okay.
So I guess I should have.
I think didn't you write a letter to him or no? You wrote something for school.
I wrote papers.
You wrote papers for
about
school.
him, but I never ever wrote them. I wrote them. They just never got mailed.
Well, I wrote him because I crocheted him a brown and white blanket for his birthday because his favorite colors were brown. So I crocheted this blanket and I mailed it to him. So I'm sure there was a letter with it, but I didn't get anything back.
Shaun.
And I think you did. Remember back then those hook rugs were popular?
Yes.
I think I did a hook rug pillow for him too. And that was brown. I don't remember what the picture was, but I mailed it to him.
You read your Tiger Beat. They said brown, and there you were.
I followed.
Yes.
Following directions.
I did, but I didn't get a letter back, but my friend got a letter back from him. So she was kind of putting that in my face a little bit.
Ooh, look what I just found.
What? Oh, the other
Shaun,
centerfold.
I found a centerfold from December 77. Shaun's inviting us to come to his party. Now, Shaun's birthday is in September.
I was going to say a little bit later.
They think we didn't know, but that cake, it looks delicious. It's got all sorts of the whipped cream flowers.
Yeah, it's only 3 months late, right?
Happy birthday, Shaun. Yeah, they couldn't put it in the September issue, I guess.
Well, they could have put it in October.
At least. But come to my party, Shaun. So I should have just packed my stuff.
We should have went.
I don't know why I didn't make this party.
And I used to always make Shaun a cake on his birthday, and I would hold it up against this life-size cutout cardboard thing I had of Shaun, and he was holding a record, so I would hold the cake up in front of the record to show that he was holding the cake. And I have a picture of it. It's so cute. But every year I'd make him a cake, but not like that one.
You're touched, Cindy.
Yeah.
You truly are touched.
Hey, I was in this magazine dedicated. I did everything it told me
Very
to
dedicated.
do.
Well, and that's the funny thing. If Tiger Beat told us to do it, we did it. We did pretty much whatever it said. Oh, this used to be
This was our Bible back then. This was our Bible to follow him. This is what we had.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
so,
pretty much all we had.
Yeah.
And
right?
we waited every month.
Every month. We didn't know any news until it came out.
That was that.
The first day it came out, maybe I bought multiple copies. I don't know, but
I only would buy my one. And it sounds pretty sad thinking about it, but it took everything I could to get my 75 cents for my edition of Tiger Beat.
Me too. Oh, look, I want to tell you about this article I just saw in here. It says, Shaun, the minute you saw him, because we were talking about this before, and it says it usually happens that when you least expect something good to happen, it does. For instance, remember the first time you saw Shaun Cassidy?
Yes, I do.
When was your first time?
Hardy Boys, 1977.
Okay, Hardy Boys.
When I first saw his face, I thought I was in heaven. I wrote a whole poem about it.
Yes, I remember that poem.
And Dame, what was your first time you saw Shaun?
First time I remember seeing him was in a Scholastic order, and I saw that face, and it stole my heart.
Oh, okay. So you saw in a Scholastic, you saw Hardy Boys. I saw him on American Bandstand. He was there singing. What was the host's name?
Dick Clark.
Dick Clark, yeah. He went and started introducing this guy and said he was David Cassidy's brother. And I'm like, what? What? Hold on. And whatever I had in my hand, I dropped everything on the floor.
And there you were, right in front of the TV.
I was frozen in front of the TV. I could not believe what I was seeing. His blonde hair and his song.
That feathered hair, the way it moved.
I was in shock, and I was in love ever
So
since.
you hadn't seen the Hardy Boys because that
yet.
came later.
No, I did not.
I was all over that Hardy Boys show when it first came out.
That's what I want to know when he was on American Bandstand, because I don't.
After the Hardy Boys premiered, because he wouldn't have had a record before the Hardy Boys.
Well, I think he was doing a record and the series at the same time.
But Dick Clark wouldn't have had them on. You had to
Until
have
this record
made a top, at least top 10.
Right.
For Dick to put you on the American Bandstand.
Yeah. So I don't know when it was, but that was it. Ever since then.
Maybe it was the summer, because Hardy Boys was out in the winter, January, and maybe by that following
Possibly.
summer, you saw him shaking his groove thing on the American Bandstand.
And I think he was on there twice. Do you remember him being on there twice?
I remember seeing him one time on there.
Because one he had a white shirt on, then the next time he had a
Yes.
black jacket with a red stripe on it.
Okay.
So I think there were two 2 appearances.
I remember the Solid Gold episode.
Yes.
I remember that so well.
With Marilyn McCoo with the hair, like it was a little bit wavy.
Yes, I remember it
I love
perfectly.
that. Yeah, he looked like an angel.
Yeah, I remember seeing him on the commercials in Hollywood when I was seeing my grandparents, and it was spellbounding, just like it says in this Teen Beat magazine.
Yeah,
and I saw that hair, it's just feathering back, and he was singing, and as far as having all of these magazines when I was younger, I didn't. I did have the real Bible, but I understand now how special these magazines are. It says right here, spell binding. Shaun's formula for a love potion is a complicated one, but it comes naturally to him. The main ingredient in his loving personality, which is mixed with an easy smile, those hypnotic eyes that would melt even an iceberg, the strands of blonde and silky hair that fall across his eyes.
Oh my
And
Oh
gosh.
my goodness, come
that wasn't
on.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, as if that wasn't enough to enchant you, Shaun speaks, and his soft, deep voice makes you wish that you can listen all day to him.
Yeah.
To complete this, and he would steal your heart.
See, they
Yep.
knew how to write that magazine.
They
knew
did.
how to get us.
Yeah.
Doris had even said, but what's even better than that, he still had that touch of shyness. And we know that.
He did.
And that's part of what took us in.
And part of this article, too, it says, on your way home from school, you remembered that you promised your mother you'd pick up a few things for her at the market. And then you turned down the magazine aisle, and a smile from a handsome face on a magazine cover caught your eye. The minute you saw him, you knew he was too good to be true, but you picked up the magazine anyway, and you started to read. His name was Shaun Cassidy.
Were they there? Seriously.
This is
This is
they know us.
exactly how it happened. They knew
And
that.
it says he looked like a slice of heaven, which he did.
He just
When I met him in person,
did.
he looked like he was just an angel. I just can't describe it any other way than that.
Yeah.
But then it says, not wanting to be late for dinner, you paid for the magazine. You went and ran home. Although your meal, you couldn't think of anything else but Shaun. His smiling eyes, his soft blonde hair kept flashing in your eyes, and your family couldn't understand the constant soft smile on your face. So after dinner, you went right to your room and you were just immersed into this magazine.
Yeah, just like it says right there.
Just like it says. It happened just pretty much like they know what happened.
Right. And
They
you
found
did,
the right person.
right. And you didn't mind going to school so much, and you made sure you did everything or something a little bit different every day.
Cindy, you really hit a little point on that. I always loved going to school, but one of my best memories of going to school was getting that order where I can order his books, and when they would show up, and then the different posters and stuff.
Yeah.
That was a huge highlight. But now I do see it. It's like the way we're describing Shaun, and we like romance. And it says right here, love happens to people in different ways. Sometimes it comes slowly, so slowly that you don't even realize you're in love. Other times you have a crush on someone, and that crush either disappears or it grows into something deeper. But sometimes, pow, it hits your heart like a lightning bolt. So this magazine knew what they were doing by using Shaun on the covers.
Right. And the last part of the article says, and to think you owe it all to Shaun Cassidy, because the minute you saw him, your eyes were open to a beauty you never before realized. The beauty
Isn't that true?
of being in love with a wonderful dream come true, Shaun Cassidy. That's what they wrote in the article.
Exactly.
It's exactly the way they wrote it.
Yeah, they wrote our story, right?
And the thing
They
is,
knew.
it was Cindy's, it was Dame's, it was Clarissa's, it was Kristen's, it was anybody out there who was in our position. They were talking to each one of us personally as they were talking to the masses.
Yes.
It related to each one of us.
Yeah.
Even though our stories are different, our feelings were the same.
And that's how our love started.
And that's why it's always about our first crush.
And I think they remain in your heart, too. I mean, he never
Yes.
left. I mean, he went and did his own life, and I did mine. But he always had a piece in my heart all along. And if I heard his name, that meant something to me.
We all knew, or else we wouldn't be here today doing this. We all knew in 1977 that we would never, ever let that go. It was always, some people let it go. Those are the ones you never
No.
hear from again.
Right.
But for some reason, Shaun had that, whatever it was that made it personal to us. You have your story, I have my story, but we knew it was never, ever, ever going to leave. And I never stopped believing. Let me correct myself. I never stopped believing from 1977 to now that I would one day meet Shaun Cassidy and he would
Exactly.
know my story.
Oh, right.
And I'm pretty sure that's still going to happen. It's
Yes.
going to happen.
Well, after
one
40
day.
some years, I did get to meet him and get that picture. But back then, I didn't think it was ever going to happen. So to 40 years later, to let that happen, my heart was still exploding.
It happened for me. We met him.
We met him.
But, I mean, there's got to be that day where I'm going to feel I've arrived. When I get to look at him face to face and he knows my story. Because that's his thing, to find your
Well,
story.
like you're saying, Doris, was the first time he walks out with that guitar. The second time was when I got a picture with him and his arm went around my shoulder. And then the third time was this last time, and he comes out for the Q&A, and then he looks at me, "Hi, Dame." I literally dropped my phone and almost wanted to faint.
Yeah, but
How
we're
did he
adults
know
now,
my
right?
name?
So we can't act goofy like we do when we're teenagers. We have to be respectful and mature.
Hey,
I'm like, I hope it's all good.
but ladies, can I just, let's wrap this up a little bit. Can I ask a favor of our listeners?
Yeah.
You all were there. You all had your magazines. You all read it. And you know the first time you met Shaun in Tiger Beat, Teen Beat, 16, whichever magazine it was. You know
Yes.
that experience. How about if you write us and tell us your story?
We'd love to hear that.
You can write
Because
us
we all
at,
have this in common, you know? It's awesome.
write us at Shaun Squad Society at gmail.com or on our social media, Facebook, Instagram,
Threads, YouTube even.
and YouTube. You can tell us your story on the first time you met Shaun Cassidy, per se, via the magazine, or you saw him on TV, or you even heard him. Maybe you heard him on the radio before you even saw him.
Or maybe your friend
Yes.
told you about him.
Tell us your story because we love to hear it.
We would love to hear that and put that on our episode because there's always a beginning to every story.
And we're going to start at the end of each episode. We're going to
Try to tell
a
some
little
stories.
bit of each person's story.
Everybody has an experience, and we all know Shaun's story, but we don't know all of the fan stories, and we would really love to hear those.
And if you have your magazines, bring them out. It's so much fun skimming through these right now.
Yeah,
and
we love our
seeing-
memorabilia stuff, don't we? We
Yeah,
still have a
this
lot
is
to go
so-
through.
Yeah.
I'm looking through all of these, and there's Eric from the Bay City Rollers. I used to love Eric. Just let us know what you think, and we'll be happy to share it on our podcast.
Yeah, I wish we could go through more of these. I mean, there's so much more in these
These are the
magazines.
best.
We just touched on a little bit of it, but there's so much in-depth information in these magazines, and it just kept us going for the day back then.
And you girls have all of them, don't you?
Not all, most.
Most. I think I have all of them with Shaun on the cover for sure.
That's for sure, for
And
you.
I think I have all of the magazines, or if not all, most.
And I
of
do
them.
have all of my original posters that I had in my room because when I moved, took the tape off,
know.
I folded them and put them in a notebook, and they carried with me all these years. I have all my original posters, which I'm so happy about. And I wish I could put them up
Cindy is
again.
so organized.
Yeah, but I wish I could put them up again, but my husband probably would not let me do that. So they have to
My
remain
husband
in my
would just-
binder.
My husband would just roll his eyes.
So do
Like, okay, put it up.
we want to wrap it up with one more article, one more story from Tiger Beat that maybe Shaun told us what he was thinking or doing? Shaun's first concert, be there, front row seat, March 1978 in Tiger Beat Star. Well, in 1978, Shaun's first concert was mayhem, it looks like. Oh my goodness.
Mayhem.
Well, there's Shaun's excitement has been building up for months. Looking forward to his first U.S. concert. The event was at a KHJ Radio annual Christmas show in LA. Joined Shaun for this fun. So they had some pictures of him, and there's Tony Orlando for the show's finale. Shaun, Tony Orlando, Debbie Boone, and joined by other stars, Pat Boone, Jermaine Jackson, and Dania Marie sang Silent Night.
Oh, that was nice.
All righty.
Okay.
So this was a great time. I love my Tiger Beats.
This was fun, but I wish we had more time to read all these.
All right. Well, we'll do it again.
We'll do it again. I would love to hear other people's stories with these magazines, too.
And if you don't have one with the magazines, tell us about when you first saw them on TV, when you first heard this record on the radio, anything.
How did you find out about Shaun Cassidy?
Your story and what it means to you. Thanks so much for listening. And make sure to join us next time when we talk about something Shaun Cassidy.
Thank you from the bottom of our Teen Dream hearts. Keep on crushing.
Always believe in magic.
And have a peaceful, Shauntastic week. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, and subscribe to our new YouTube page.
Make sure to keep in touch with us at our email, ShaunSquadSociety@gmail.com.
The Shaun Squad Society podcast, including past, present, and future versions, and its contents are owned and controlled by the Shaun Squad Society. The podcast is written, produced, and recorded at the Borden Studios, and the views and opinions are solely those of the Shaun Squad Society podcast. We may think we are always right, but we may get things wrong from time to time, so we assume no responsibility for errors of submission of content.